Hello friends, this is Brent Krishan. I want to share with you another short testimony, picking up off of the last testimony I shared with you briefly. I shared with you on the last testimony how I came into the vision of Habakkuk, and that came from listening to the great controversy as I was driving, and I heard about this vision. Ellen G. White using the marginal reference of Habakkuk 3:4, saying, Christ had bright beams shining out of his side, and there was the hiding of his power. And I told you guys how that just really grabbed me, mind, body, and soul. And I just devoted myself to studying that and meditating on that. Well, in that process, I got to know the book where that was quoted from, the book of Habakkuk. Now, it's not that long. It's only 3 chapters. But in those months after really beholding the bright beams shining out of Christ's side, I really just wanted to study Habakkuk. I wanted to get to know that book through and through. This is back in 2006. But in God's providence, after maybe 2 months after I first was introduced to the vision of Habakkuk, I began to study in earnest the 1888 message. And many of you are very aware of what we as Adventists call the 1888 message, which is the message of righteousness or justification by faith that was brought to our church by Jones and Wagner in that very monumental general conference where they brought that message out very beautifully and strongly, and it was supported by the spirit of prophecy. The testimony of Jesus was saying, this is the light of that angel of Revelation 18, which was to come down and lighten the earth with his glory. But my friends, that light was largely rejected. But we still have that testimony with us, that this was the beginning of that light. My friends, the testimony of Jesus is crying out, dig here for hidden truth. This is the place where you should study and apply your efforts. This is the beginning of that light. Well, my friends, we now have a more sure word of prophecy, and Ricky and I are desiring so much to share these things with you. Let me share with you a few things. Well, I have a testimony I want to share. So, after studying that message of 1888, maybe about a month later, now I told you about 2 months before, I had been studying and contemplating the vision of Christ with the bright beams out of his side. After really drinking in the 1888 message, studying the inspired testimonies about it from Ellen G. White, reading Jones and Wagner, studying the history and the experience of 1888 and the rejection of the message, about a month later, about 2 o'clock in the morning, the Lord woke me up out of sleep, and I was strongly impressed with this thought. The vision of Habakkuk and the 1888 message are the same thing. They are one and the same. But friends, I didn't know how. How is it that they are the same? I got out of bed, and one question was impressed upon me. Did not the prophet know? Lord, did you show your prophet that this vision of Habakkuk and the 1888 message were the same thing? I went to my study Bible. At the time, I had the Ellen G. White Study Bible, as many of you do, and I opened to Revelation 18. I read the first commentary by Ellen G. White in the Ellen G. White Study Bible, and this is what it says in Revelation 18 verse 1. It says, during the proclamation of the third angel's message, another angel is to come down from heaven having great power, and the earth is to be lightened with his glory. The Spirit of the Lord was so graciously blessed, consecrated human instrumentalities that men, women, and children will open their lips in praise and thanksgiving, filling the earth with the knowledge of God and with his unsurpassed glory as the waters cover the sea. My friends, as soon as I read that, I said, praise the Lord, because I knew that was quoting Habakkuk. That comes from Habakkuk 2:14. My friends, they're the same thing. My friends, this is exciting. The angel of Revelation 18 is Christ. It is his glory that lightens the earth and not another. And from Habakkuk we know where this light is coming from. He lightens the earth with the glory of his own character, shown in the bright beam shining from his side. Oh, the loveliness of those rays, my friends. But there is more. The earth is lightened with his glory. Habakkuk 2 verse 4 says that the just shall live by his faith. My friends, this is the faith of Jesus foreshadowed in the Old Testament, and this is where Paul drew largely from his strong testimony in his gospel, in the book of Romans, in the book of Galatians, in the book of Hebrews, when Paul quotes Habakkuk 2 verse 4 saying, the just shall live by faith. The just shall live by faith. Now the just shall live by faith. My friends, this is a message that you should study with us and pray, my friends, that we receive this message, because you know that the angel of Revelation 18 is a prophecy of the latter rain, now revealed in the vision of Christ, made plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. This is a glorious time we live in, my friends. Please pray, as Rick and I had to do. Say, Lord, please reveal this to me. Help me to understand. Open the eyes of my understanding. Pray that prayer from the first chapter of Ephesians, chapter 1, starting on verse 17, I think, going to verse 22, that the Lord would bless us with his spirit of wisdom and revelation, that the eyes of our understanding would be enlightened. Thank you, friends. I want to share a short testimony with you. Please read the things that Rick and I are sharing. Pray over them, meditate upon them. But most importantly, behold Christ. Ellen G. White said that the message of 1888 was look and live. My friends, in so many quotes and so many inspired thoughts, she was pointing to our time. My friends, the time has come. Look and live. God bless you all. Thank you.